So I know the riot happened after Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated, and basically here at Lindblom, I guess for a little background, like the school had been undergoing demographic change as more African Americans were coming to the school and as students, but at the same time the community around the school had not changed and had not integrated. It was mostly like white. So there was a lot of tension in the school and in the surrounding neighborhood around integration. When the riots happened, it was 1968, Dr. King had been assassinated, and my understanding is the principal took a long time, like 3 days or so, to acknowledge that had even happened, and that was a pretty traumatic event. There were protests and vigils and uprisings that happened all over the country and in the city of Chicago too. So this was like a huge thing, and it was on the minds of a lot of students, and students were upset. And so my understanding is that finally when he called an assembly, students wanted to speak out and were vocal, and he had told them like to calm down and and then the principal was white. He wasn't African American, and I don't think really, I don't know if he really understood what students were going through or appreciated that or empathized with their experience. And so students stood up. To my understanding, someone pulled a fire alarm, and there was kind of a general uprising, walkout, riot that happened.
In 1968, there was a riot in Lindblom that many people may not have known about, labeled as the hidden history within Lindblom. History is a word that demonstrates the past actions that have played a part into making the present day and beyond. We in public art have been exploring the history that has made Lindblom what it is today. One of the ways we have demonstrated this is by learning about the Lindblom riot. In public art, we have built a replica of the trophy case that was smashed in the riot, and have reenacted the smashing to recognize the event that has played such a major role into making Lindblom, Lindblom.
Sure. So the riot was a watershed moment for the school. It marked a transition for the school and almost as a district in Chicago as a whole, from a city that was predominantly Caucasian to a multicultural city. And it was a riot that happened because people weren't cognizant of how to treat others fairly as humans, in an equal way, and that was really the crux of what caused it, was respect for others. And as a school, it was from there forward a shift to really being more responsive to students and who our students are, and making sure that the school is constantly listening, constantly adjusting to the needs of the students, regardless of who they are, regardless of their race, their creed, their religion, that we're here to serve every student. I would say, especially for our student body, so many of our students come from backgrounds where they've lacked empowerment, from cultures where they've lacked empowerment, that it's really important to provide our students a supportive environment where they can experiment with being themselves and advocating for themselves, so that when they leave here, they are empowered and they know how to leverage that empowerment to help themselves and to help their community and city and the country as a whole. I think the timing of this reenactment today really fits well with the events of yesterday at the school. This is, as Jackie put in the hall, a multi-generational problem of inequity for Chicago Public School students. And so the alignment between this reenactment and the fact that our freshman and sophomore during this time were predominantly African American, and they weren't receiving equitable treatment, and now this lawsuit, 50 years later, is finally taking action against the state to make sure that there's equitable funding.
I think in part because, one, when we're looking at a school, we're all here for you as students. And so, with anything, we can't run it with one focus or a singular focus. We've got to look at everyone who's involved. So whether we're looking at our staff, our teachers, to the parents and to the students especially, that's why we're here as a school. As we always talk about, our family here is that we're all eagles. And so, our motto is that we protect the nest. And so in part of that, as students, we look at you as young eagles. If we're not protecting you and giving you a chance to voice your opinions, then we're not truly protecting the nest.
Well, as I was reading the story, I felt that the trophy case really did. It stood out to me. I feel like it's because the students. It showed how angry the students were. Like they stormed out the auditorium, and they just went to the trophy case and just broke it. And I feel like that represents a lot of how angry they were and how much they felt that they needed to get their voices heard, so they resorted to violence. And I felt like it just showed a lot of emotion and the rage that were within the students during that time.
Our history guides our future. Revisiting a polarizing event like this riot gives us cause to consider how we can better support students in voicing their very legitimate fears, concerns, and views.